Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Has Ethiopian ambassador to the US resigned? Who is he? Why did he resign? And who's going to replace him? Someone from Oromia. Secondly, an Eritrean ambassador this week lashed out at a European government. What happened? The Eritrean ambassador demanded that right to assembly of Eritreans is not being respected. Let's start from the US viewers, where reportedly Ethiopian ambassador has resigned. I'm saying resign. It means that he does not want to continue his work with the government. Why? Any problems? What is his next plan? Who is this man? Who's going to replace him? Slashy Bakele is the name of Ethiopian ambassador. I think 2 years ago, he was appointed as Ethiopian ambassador to the US. In 2022, he was appointed, if I'm not wrong. Selashi has been advisor to Ethiopian PM on GERD2, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which has been a source of dispute between Ethiopia and neighboring countries, Sudan, Egypt. And Selashi has been leading talks on behalf of Ethiopia with neighboring countries. Then he was appointed to the US. He has resigned, and now reportedly he wants to pursue a personal, private career. He does not want to continue working with the government. That is what we are hearing, but waiting for a confirmation from the horse's mouth. What happened? Difficult to say, but US Ethiopia relations are going through up and down. I mean, diplomatically, they have good relations. Mike Hammer visits Ethiopia. But how much Ethiopia managed to get from the US in recent months, in the last 2 years, in terms of investment, in terms of assistance, in terms of backing for projects in Ethiopia? This is the question. Kenyan president warmly welcomed in US. Kenya declared major non-NATO ally. US president giving some tasks to Kenyan president. Large-scale investments being announced in Kenya by US. If you compare the performance of Kenyan and Ethiopian ambassadors to the US, obviously, Ethiopian ambassador's performance is definitely lackluster. But you cannot just blame the ambassador for that, because obviously what is happening in Ethiopia affects Ethiopia-US relations. Who's going to replace Slashy back? One name is being floated. Lenchobati, though no official confirmation. Lenchobati is former OLF leader, Oromo Liberation Front leader. He became part of the government, and now I think he's working as an ambassador to a Middle Eastern country, if I'm not wrong. Is going to replace Selashi Bakele? Let's see. If he's appointed, PM Abiy will be accused that he wants to develop Oromo-US relations, and the move will be opposed by Amhara hardliners, I believe. But let's see. So we're waiting for official confirmation. By the way, these days, Ethiopia, US relations are going through a bad patch, I would say, because we heard from Arvind Masinga a few days ago, US ambassador to Ethiopia, that the Ethiopian government was cracking down on dissidents. Before that, 18 or 17 embassy issued a joint statement raising concern about situation of press freedom in Ethiopia. Then the Ethiopian government accused US ambassador of being ill-informed and of violating diplomatic decorum. There are issues between the two sides. IMF bailout package still being negotiated. Obviously, without US backing, Ethiopia cannot get a bailout package from IMF, World Bank, etc. So a lot is happening behind the scenes. Kenya has definitely replaced Ethiopia as a major US ally in this region now. Ethiopia is losing its regional significance. Maybe that is why Ethiopia believes that there is need for some changes to its diplomatic team, and new faces should be introduced in the US. Let's see. Second was an Eritrean ambassador criticized the European government this week. We know that on Friday, Eritrean celebrated Independence Day celebration organized in Europe, in North America, Canada, etc. In one European countries, no large-scale celebrations were allowed, at least in one country, and that is Switzerland. If you remember last year in Switzerland, in September, there was a clash between Eritreans, dozens were injured. Switzerland showed that it won't allow Eritrean gatherings to be organized. That is why even Independence Day gatherings were not allowed by local authorities. Eritrean ambassador to Geneva, who shocked the affairs basically, Haptom Zerai, this week criticized the Swiss government. He said that Eritrean people's right to free assembly is being denied by Switzerland government. And then he said that what Swiss government is doing, it's a violation or it goes against Swiss democratic culture. He was asked a question about dictatorship in Eritrea. That is there dictatorship in Eritrea? And he just ignored this question. He refused to agree with this, that there is dictatorship in Eritrea. So Haptom Zerai, Eritrean ambassador to Geneva, is asking Switzerland to respect the right of Eritreans to free assembly in Switzerland, while the same right is denied to Eritreans on Eritreans. Are they allowed to exercise their right to free assembly in Eritrea? Do they have this right to vote in Eritrea? Do they have right to speak freely? Is there an independent media in Eritrea? So all the rights which are being denied in Eritrea are being demanded by Eritrean government. I mean, the Eritreans living in Switzerland, obviously they can demand that their rights should be respected. They have every right to do that. But the government, Eritrean government, which is crushing dissent in Eritrea, which is not respecting fundamental rights of people, does it have any moral ground or any morals to demand the respect for same rights in Europe, which are being denied by the government in Eritrea? Does it make sense? No shame. They have no shame, I would say. Having said that, yes, Eritreans living in Europe, they should be treated equally. If Brigade Nehamido people are attacking pro-government program, it does not mean that all programs should be banned. I think Brigade Nehamido are also reviewing their strategy. They know that these attacks are creating problems for them. They are now holding discussions, conventions, to familiarize their people with protest laws. Swiss government is very tough on violence, and if you remember, a few days ago we heard that a Swiss parliamentary committee proposed a Rwanda-UK-style agreement to deport those Eritreans whose asylum cases have been rejected. It could happen. So perhaps the most difficult country for Eritreans in Europe would be Switzerland and maybe Sweden as well. Switzerland on top, it seems. Thank you for watching.